Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Moss Nissan, and guess what? We're bringing you the big one. This is the largest truck that they sell. This is a 2019 Nissan Titan XD, but this one is the Platinum Reserve trim. So let's talk a little bit about Nissan. Nissan's been around since the 1930s, actually 1933. It wasn't until the early 2000s that they made the Titan. Now what's interesting is that the Titan has only gone through 2 generations, and that's one of the things that people are hoping out for another redesign that they're keeping their fingers crossed is going to come very soon. Now the nice thing that Nissan has done is they've created some different trim levels to kind of spice it up, and you'll see that with this Platinum Reserve, it really is like the King Ranch. What the King Ranch is to the Ford F-150 series pickup truck, this Platinum Reserve is going to be bringing a lot of show, and underneath the hood, a lot of pulling power, because guess what? This has that turbo diesel engine. But let's go ahead and dive into this 2019 Nissan Titan XD Platinum Reserve. Right off the bat, you'll see the massive headlight design. You can see the LED daytime running lamps. Headlights are looking a little dated. This is where people are hoping that with the next redesign, this is going to change up. As we come across the front, this is a Platinum Reserve specific grille. So you have the Titan name embossed in the grille. I do like that. You'll see Nissan's V-shaped branding that they put into the grille. That's another nice touch. And then down low with the metal bumpers, I love the gunmetal gray color. You can see the 2 massive tow hooks that we have, and you have fog lamps down low, obviously one on each side with some nice chrome finish around it. But from the front, you could see the purpose of this truck for the size of it and what it's made to do. Now, up onto the hood, there's a lot of cool body lines. I like the raised section here, very slight raised middle portion. Then there's kind of 2 valleys on each side, but really, they put a lot of character into the hood, and this really could be hit or miss. My only concern is you don't see many like this on trucks, is where the hood meets the front of the grille. You can see how it kind of curves down, which I'm sure gives it a little bit more aerodynamic efficiency, but just something that looks different, which could be a good thing if that's what you're going for. Now, when you come around the bend, I'm so glad that they took the color from the front bumper, brought it into the fender treatment. A nice thing as well that Nissan does with their design, I like the way they notch out the fender treatment. It gives it a little extra touch. Now, these wheels, these are gorgeous. I love the finish on them. This is specific to the Platinum Reserve. It's a 20-inch wheel, so 28-inch wheel in diameter. I'm gonna have Tom kind of zoom in and show you that upper control arm, and you can see some of that Cummins Turbo Diesel from inside the fender well. As a car enthusiast, truck enthusiast, those are the things I like to see. On the side of the fender, you do have a fake vent badge. I wish they would have done something just different with this fake venting look. It's proudly telling you this is a Cummins Turbo Diesel setup, but I do like the overall shape of it, and I think it's important to have here to kind of give a little bit of flair to the fender. You got your good old-fashioned traditional antenna. I don't know why those are still available. One day we won't see them anymore, hopefully soon. You got chrome on the mirrors with your turn signals, nicely placed with a little bit of flat black. You can see I'm 6 feet tall. This truck it's a tall truck. But what the nice thing is, look at the great running boards that they have. You got your massive Titan XD logo. I like the gray. And then even on the running board, it's got embossed the Titan name, which is great. It's at a great height. And you know what? Some really good grip, which is what is important. Chrome on the door handles as we go down the side. Very nice, large look to it. And I also like this. Look this is smart. I like the way the running boards actually go all the way to the back, to the front of the bed. That way you can reach in real quick if you have to. A lot of manufacturers, they cut it off like right here, and then you're kind of SOL. That's a nice touch. As we come to the rear, I'm gonna have Tom kind of show you the frame and everything. You can see that large, massive exhaust that's coming off of that engine into the tailpipe area out back. Of course, this is a 4x4 and gonna be able to really do the job for whatever your needs are. Now, when we get to the rear, here's where you're gonna see more of that platinum bling. You got your Platinum Reserve badging embossed on the back. I like the finish. It gives it a little bit of extra flair without getting too gaudy. 4x4, like I said, Titan XD. Of course, you're gonna get your trailer hookup. I like the way they have all the connectivity out of the mudded area and just Actually, a lot of ground clearance back here, which is surprising because remember, this is not a full ton. This is a half-ton turbo diesel Cummins setup. Why don't we go ahead though, pop the hood, and let's check out that actual engine. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Feast your eyes on what is underneath there. So what you're looking at is a 5-liter V8 turbo diesel engine. That's a Cummins turbo diesel engine, 310 horsepower, 555 pound-feet of torque. You could rip a tree right out of the ground. This one is mated to an Allison 6-speed transmission. It does have a 2-speed transfer case, and it could tow up to 12,760 pounds. Remember, 2004 was the first time that the Titan made an appearance under the Nissan banner, and 2016 was the last time that this had any kind of refresh. But why don't we go ahead, fire up this engine, and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Titan, that platinum reserve trim. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I like some of the touches on the Titan. I know it hasn't been redesigned in a while, but this platinum reserve kind of is tickling my fancy. How much is it? You're looking at an MSRP of around $68,000. Let's see what you get to the door panels. Now, I like what is going on with the door panels. You have a breakup of the sea of black material with some wood grain. You have some nice soft brown leather with some stitching, and also some nice touch leather on the armrest with the same contrast stitching. This does have a Fender premium audio system, which is part of that whole platinum reserve package. That's going to make sure that you're rocking out to your tunes with the best sound possible. On the dash, I like the way that they brought the brown onto the front portion here of the dash, and the dash it's quite far forward, which gives you a lot of room. You have that same contrast stitching, same soft material, which is nice to see. As we get to the center stack, here's where it gets a little zonky. The screen is too small. This needs to be at least an 8-inch, 9-inch infotainment system screen. It is touchscreen, and you do have navigation. It is on the data side, and this is what's going to hurt this truck compared to the other competitors in its class. You do have a CD player, lots of gloss black, which I know some of you guys hate that as much as you hated your bullies at your school when you were a kid. You do have dual climate control, which is easy to use. As we drop down, of course, this has blind spot monitoring and things like that. Heated steering wheel, you can shut your traction control off, push button start, and since we're talking about that, here's your key fob, same Nissan key fob. I wish they would address this up, at least for the Platinum Reserve. This is gonna be your twisty knob. No, not to crank up the engine. This is the twisty knob for your 4-wheel drive. Right now we're in 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. You got your trailer release, 2 USBs, and an auxiliary jack. The nice thing is heated and ventilated seats. Now, the zonk part of it is you could tell that this is an afterthought. It's kind of just added here. Little tiny cubby here. You got your 2 cup holders. Here's something that's kind of cool. You got space here, but you know what? If you want maximum space, you could take the cup holders out, or if you want your drinks closer to you, then you could just move that. So that is a cool touch. It's so simple, but yet it makes sense. Nice Platinum Reserve badging here, which is a nice touch. Open this up, open sesame. We got lots of room in there. There's a 12 volt in there, some felt lining at the bottom, and this wonderful tray where you could actually probably do like some M&Ms in the center, maybe some Skittles on one side for that one person that wants to taste the rainbow, and then maybe some toothpicks on the other side. Maybe you got something in your teeth that you need to pick out. But that's nice to have options. I'm a firm believer in that. Seats, love them. Platinum Reserve logo going on in the back portion, full leather, and I like the way they changed it up. It almost has like this alligator skin, then it's smooth, and then it's got this square pattern going on. Really nice stitch work, and they're comfortable. I am 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom in here. Part of the problem on this trim level, I would like to see at least a sunroof, or especially at this price point, a panoramic sunroof. But why don't you get on over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Titan. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this Platinum Reserve Titan. Before we dive in, I just want to show you some features that on the doors, you do have 2 memory settings, which is good at this price point. I just can't stand how hard the plastic is at the top. That definitely is a huge zonk at this price point. Full power seats, which is to be expected. And I also like the aluminum panel down low where it says Platinum Reserve, just to remind you each and every time that you get out of your Platinum Reserve Titan. Steering wheel. I like the size. I wish it was a little thicker. And of course, it's on the dated side. These controls look like they're about 10 years old, which they probably are. You got the brown contrast stitching. And then this wood trim is different. I just don't know how well it's going to wear, especially if you wear a ring and it kind of banging against that. The one thing that Nissan did that none of the other manufacturers do, check it out. You have leather on the actual shifter. You have a column shift, but you have leather with the contrast stitching. We've been in $100,000 trucks that don't have that here on Rady's Rides. But you know what? The Platinum Reserve does. Thank you, Nissan, for that. Gauges. They work. They're easy to read. Could they be a little fancier? Sure. But what I do like is as you toggle through that center LED display is you have a plethora of information. Watch as I keep going. Look at this. You could go in all sorts of off-road where you could get the gradient of the road. You got your auxiliary gauges there. Nicely done. I think that really is a nice touch. It needs to be updated. I mean, nobody's arguing that. But overall, very, very comfortable in here. Let's see how your passengers are going to be loving life in your Platinum Reserve. All right, guys, back seat time in the Titan. You know, the wonderful thing is there's a ton of room back here, and I like the way they brought the same fine seating material for the passengers, which is really nice. That same wonderful stitch work and everything. They are heated, they're not ventilated. I don't see many trucks at this price point with ventilated. You do have not only 1, but 2 pockets on the back, full leather. They are felt lined, so you could put your iPad in there or whatever. It's not gonna get scratched up unless you put some rocks in there with it. Nice command center. 2 cup holders for the passengers. You got your rear AC vents, which is really nice. 2 USBs, a home power source, and the 12 volt. There's your controls for the heated seats. It would be wonderful if it was ventilated, but like I said, not a lot of manufacturers at this price point giving you that. Tons of headroom. Legs feel great. Actually very, very comfortable. Power sliding rear window. And then of course the armrest. Ouch. You know how I feel about this. That's a zonk. Take these, turn them that way. I want a place to put my arm. Cups, you got 2 cup holders in each door. Do we really need to have them this way? So that will be a zonk for me, but at least there is an armrest, I guess. But why don't we go ahead, check out the bed of the truck and see what goodies are back there. All right, guys, time to check out, of course, with a pickup truck, that important part, the inside of the bed. One thing I want to point out is I like little touches like this. Nissan has you covered. Check this out. You got a nice step right here that if you need to reach in and grab something, you could do that real easily. And look, it goes away so simple. Now, nice soft release, drops down. We already have our bed liner in and all that good stuff. And one thing you're going to notice, you may like it, you may hate it, is you have 2 work boxes on both sides here, 1 on each side. These are lockable, which is really, really nice. They open up and they have tons of storage inside, which is really great. My zonk for that is that you're obviously losing room in the bed of the truck. You do also have 2 compartments here to store some stuff in, which is really nice, and then you just put it back like that. But I think that's probably going to be a sore spot with certain truck owners, is that they want more room in the bed of the truck. With the work boxes, you're kind of losing some of that space, but it's nice to have the bed liner in there. And you can see there's all sorts of rail systems that you could slide and adjust things back here. But why don't we go ahead and get to the best part? Let's take this Titan for a spin. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Titan XD. Remember, this is that Platinum Reserve trim. I really do love the seating position. You're at a great vantage point. In 2016, when they did the last revision of this truck, they actually lowered the door sills. It's quite interesting because there's a lot more glass, which gives you a lot more visibility, which is great. And overall, utilizing the mirrors, looking out the back window, visibility is really, really nice in this Titan. Driving down this little stretch of road here, the suspension is very compliant. It's very smooth. I got the ventilated seats on, so that's feeling good. And the seats feel great. You could position them to fit any body type, and having the ability to do heated and ventilated is always a plus. If you're wondering, well, is this diesel really obnoxious when it comes to the diesel sound? No, it's not. I mean, it has that clatter that you want when you're outside the truck. You could hear some of it inside, but it's nothing too overbearing, which is nice. You can see navigating it through this tight road here, it's very, very easy. And a lot of it has to do with how that hood is. Remember how I was showing you a lot of those body lines in the hood? Gives you a great reference point, great visibility out over the hood, which is really nice. I wish the steering wheel was a little bit thicker, so I am gonna zonk the steering wheel. Feedback is a little vague, and one thing I notice is there's a lot of turns to actually make a U-turn in this truck. You're going to be cranking on that steering wheel a lot to get it to turn, and I wish it didn't involve so many rotations of the wheel. But overall, very, very smooth and quiet inside, which is nice. I think the thing is that with the Platinum Reserve, you know, this is obviously a fully loaded truck. If you go to a lower trim level on a Titan, which we will here on Rady's Rides, you know us, we like to cover all the different trim levels. I think more of those dated sore spots will stick out. There's certain parts that I look at this truck, it feels like a Ford F-150. It looks like a Ford F-150. And remember, the Ford F-150 is the leader currently in this class, with the GM products close behind with the Silverado and the GMC Sierra. But a very, very smooth driving truck, and you know, for somebody who wants something that it's not a full ton pickup, but yet it seems larger than a half-ton pickup. So it's like a half-ton and a half. What is that? Half-ton and 3/4? Anyways, just messing around. Don't, if you're a math expert, you got me. But just, it really is a very unique truck, and that's the one thing I'm definitely trying to get at here, is that with the overall size, look, and functions of the truck, it makes it a standout, which is interesting, because I was not expecting that from the Titan, especially because it is older design compared to a lot of the other trucks. But very smooth, and that 6-speed Allison shifts flawlessly. It's a very, very good gearbox, and definitely, I mean, Cummins, that's an engine name in the engine department, especially with diesels, of course, that they build really, really good products. All right, guys, we're gonna make a U-turn just to show you the turning radius. Not too shabby, coming out on throttle. Really love the diesel sound, and it's got that low down grunt that you come to expect. But boy, once you get rolling, she picks up steam very quickly, and that Allison transmission, it's bulletproof. I mean, the shifts are so smooth and crisp, it's almost like it's not even shifting. But hopefully this gave you a nice assortment of talking points. You know, the seating position, like I said, in this is absolutely perfect. You can move it to fit your particular body type. I like how easy it is to get to all the buttons and switches. The only problem is this infotainment system is so dated and very, very small, especially at this price point. Guys, little acceleration test. I'm doing about 25 on throttle. Takes a second for it to drop down, but boy, once it drops down, you can feel that torque. Remember, 555 pound-feet of torque coming out of this, and just very smooth. The gearbox is very, very smooth, and you hear that diesel noise, like I said, without being obnoxious, which I think that's a good thing. I know there are people that will modify these to become faster trucks, but yet they're a little louder on the loud side of things when it comes to diesels. Let me see how turning is here on this right-hand turn. Not too bad. I'm liking the feedback. Once you start to pick up some speed, the steering gives you a little bit better feedback off the front end. And overall, the truck is easy to drive. Very, very easy to drive. All right, guys, been a wonderful day here at Moss Nissan. Definitely got to thank David Moss, Anthony, and everybody else here at the dealership. So accommodating. Glad to bring the big truck, the biggest one on the lot, here to you, the Titan. It's one of those things that with this Platinum Reserve, it gives you some extra options and features that maybe you have desired that you couldn't get in the past. And also nice to see that Cummins Turbo Diesel engine with the 6-speed Allison transmission. If these are the types of things that you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. Make sure, click the link in the description. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click that link, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. He's actually loving this Nissan Titan. He likes the room. He likes all that space that he could put all of his barrels of protein inside and in the back. So thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.